Hello and welcome to K News. This is Hardik Trivedi. Let's have a look on what is happening in India and in the world. A record room in the Noida authorities office in Sector 6 caught fire on Monday at around 9 am. No casualties were reported in the incident. The cause of the fire is still unknown, the official said. A fire broke out on the ground floor in Industry Department section record room and was brought under control with the help of the 4 fire tenders, said Arun Kumar Singh, Chief Fire Officer, Gautam Buddh Nagar District. The official said that the extent of the damage is being assessed as several files that contained old records were charred in the blaze. The police said that a security guard reported the fire. The office was empty because Eid ul-Fitr, a public holiday, is being celebrated on Monday, and also the ongoing lockdown restrictions are in place to contain the spread of COVID-19 outbreak. Noida authorities office also reported another fire on June 26, 2019, which was caused due to a short circuit. A war of words has broken out between Union Minister for Railways and Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal and Shiv Sena member of Rajya Sabha Sanjay Raut over an alleged 50% less number of Shramik special trains being provided daily to ferry stranded migrant workers out of Maharashtra, which has reported the maximum number of COVID-19 positive cases in the country. On Sunday, hours after Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray said the rail authorities have managed to provide only 50% of the trains required to ferry stranded migrant workers back to their home states. Goyal tweeted that they could arrange 125 trains on conditions that they don't run empty and also sought a list of passengers. Earlier, the CM had said though he had requested the rail authorities to run 80 Shramik special trains daily, only 40 are operating. Goyal put on a flurry of tweets in response to Thackeray's plea and sought various passenger details such as their boarding stations, medical certificates, etc. over the next hour. Later, he again tweeted the Maharashtra government has been unable to provide the required information even after 1.5 hours. He cited that planning 125 trains would take time and the rail authorities would be unable to accede to the state government's request unless they have full details. Raut sprang on the CM defense and took on Goyal. Maharashtra government has submitted a list of the rail authorities. There is only one request to Piyush Goyal ji that trains should reach their destinations. The train going to Gorakhpur should not end up in Odisha, Raut said. He took a pot shot at Goyal and was referring to last week's incident where hundreds of migrant laborers travelling to their native Uttar Pradesh were instead taken to Rourkela in Odisha. Later, the rail authorities claimed that it was a planned diversion due to congestion on some routes. On Monday too, Goyal kept up the heat on the state government. Where is the list of 125 trains from Maharashtra? As of 2 am, I received a list of only 46 trains, of which 5 are to West Bengal and Odisha, which cannot operate due to the cyclone Amphan. We are notifying only 41 trains for Monday, despite being prepared for 125, he tweeted. Raut replied to Goyal via tweet, what list was sought for Nagpur-Dhampur train that left on May 14? Please share what efforts have been made to arrange trains first and then go gather passengers. Now which list are you seeking? Don't forget that you are represent Maharashtra in Rajya Sabha. Indian skies will open up for domestic passenger services from Monday after a gap of 2 months, with Delhi-Pune and Mumbai-Patna flights being among the first to take off. Aviation industry sources said all scheduled commercial passenger flights have been suspended since March 25 when the government imposed a nationwide lockdown to curb the coronavirus pandemic. Both the flights will be operated by Indigo on Monday morning. while the Delhi-Pune flight is scheduled to depart at 4:45 am. The Mumbai-Patna flight would depart at 6:45 am. Aviation industry sources said the first passenger flight would be 6E643 from Delhi Airport, and it is likely to be it is likely to be operated by aircraft VTITK, which is an A320 neo plane of Indigo. The sources added the first domestic passenger flight to arrive at Delhi Airport on Monday would be from Ahmedabad, and it is of SpiceJet. The flight SG8194, which would be conducted by B737 module number VTSGQ, would be landing at 7:45 am at Delhi Airport, one of the sources said. The Mumbai Airport's operator MIAL said in a statement, the first flight departing out of CSMIA will be to Patna at 6:45 hours, and flight arriving from Lucknow will be the first arrival flight at 8:20 hours, both operated by Indigo. It was announced last Thursday that one-third of pre-lockdown domestic flights will operate from Monday. All international scheduled commercial passenger flights remain suspended. The pilot of the Pakistan International Airlines crash plane ignored 3 warnings from the air traffic controllers about the aircraft's attitude and speed before he landing, saying he was satisfied and would handle the situation, according to a report on Monday. The national flag carrier's PK-8303 tragedy on Friday, in which 97 people were killed and 2 miraculously survived, is one of the most catastrophic aviation disasters in the country's history. The Airbus A320 from Lahore to Karachi was 15 nautical miles from the Jinnah International Airport, flying at an altitude of 10,000 feet above the ground instead of 7,000 when the air traffic control ATC issued its first warning to lower the plane's altitude. Geo News quoted on ATC report as saying, instead of lowering the altitude, the pilot responded by saying that he was satisfied. When only 10 nautical miles were left till the airport, the plane was at an altitude of 7,000 feet instead of 3,000, it said. The ATC issued a second warning to the pilot to lower the plane's altitude. However, the pilot responded again by stating that he was satisfied and would handle the situation, saying he was ready to landing. The report said that the plane had enough fuel to fly over 2 hours and 34 minutes, while its total flying time was recorded at 1 hour and 33 minutes. Pakistani investigators are trying to find out if the crash is attributable to a pilot error or a technical glitch. According to a report prepared by the country's civil aviation authority, the plane's engines had scraped the runway thrice on the pilot's first attempt to land, causing friction and sparks recorded by the experts. When the aircraft scraped the ground on the first failed attempt at landing, the engine's oil tank and fuel pump may have been damaged and started to leak, preventing the pilot from achieving the required thrust and speed to raise the aircraft to safety, the report said. The pilot made a decision on his own to undertake a go-around after failed to land the first time. It was only during the go-around that the ATC was informed that landing gear was not deploying, it said. The pilot was directed by the air traffic controller to take the aircraft at 3,000 feet, but he managed only 1,800. When the cockpit was reminded to go for the 3,000 feet level, the first officer said, "We are trying," the report said. Experts said that the failure to achieve the directed height indicates that the engines were not responding. The aircraft thereafter tilted and crashed suddenly. The flight crashed at the Jinnah Garden area near Model Colony in Malir on Friday afternoon, minutes before its landing in Karachi Jinnah International Airport. 11 people on the ground were injured. The probe team, headed by Air Commander Muhammad Usman Ghani, president of the Aircraft Accident and Investigation Board, is expected to submit a full report in about 3 months. According to the PIA's Engineering and Maintenance Department, the last check of the plane was done on March 21 this year, and it had flown from Muscat to Lahore a day before the crash. In the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, the Pakistan government had allowed the limited domestic flight operations from 5 major airports: Islamabad, Karachi, Lahore, Peshawar and Quetta from May 16. After the plane tragedy, the PIA has called off its domestic operation. As domestic flights resumed at several airports across India this morning after 2 months since the coronavirus lockdown was imposed, there was confusion and chaos at airports in Delhi, Mumbai and other cities as a large number of flights were cancelled and passengers complained that they did not get any notification from the airlines. 82 flights to and from Delhi were cancelled, with angry passengers at Terminal 3 of Delhi Indira Gandhi International Airport claiming that they were not informed till the last minute. Airport officials said the cancellation are on account of several states telling the center that they will not be able to operate flights agreed upon earlier. The Delhi airport will handle a total of 125 departures and 118 arrivals today. Similar scenes were witnessed at the Chhatrapati Shivaji International Airport in Mumbai, with several passengers seen sitting outside the airport after their flight were cancelled, while a flight to Pune was the first to take off from Delhi at 4:45 am. A Patna-bound flight was the first to take off from Mumbai at 6:45 am. The Mumbai airport, the country's second busiest airport, will handle 50 flights daily, 25 incoming and 25 outgoing. Long queues were seen outside the departure terminal in Mumbai, with passengers taking longer than usual to enter the airport as security personnel had to do thermal screening as well as check if each passenger had downloaded the Arogya Setu app on their mobile phones. Maharashtra, which was among the states that sought time to restart flights in view of its huge number of COVID-19 cases, the highest in the country, said the last minute that it would operate 25 flights takeoff from Mumbai and 25 landings in the city. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray earlier said the state would need more time to prepare for flight operations. At Chennai Airport too, there were disappointed passengers who said their tickets have been cancelled. From March 15, we were stuck here in Tamil Nadu due to the lockdown. We booked 3 tickets from Mumbai last night, but while reaching here, our flight tickets were cancelled and there is no one to answer us at the help desk. It seems that the airports and the situation need more time to operate. It's time for a short break. We'll join you in a short while.
Vesavi avtundi fan with the cooler number one. Ika chesko more fun unte cooler number one. Ika don't run from the sun unte Kinsta number one.
Welcome back to K News and thank you for watching. Let's continue the streak of news. A union minister warns that she knows how to take people to a room and beat them with belts, as she is caught on camera threatening officials at coronavirus quarantine center in Chhattisgarh. The minister Renuka Singh was filmed making these comments on Sunday. Dadagiri nahi chalegi, says Renuka Singh, Minister of State for Tribal Affairs, at the virus quarantine center at Balrampur, around 400 kilometers from Chhattisgarh capital Raipur. No one should think our government is not in power. We ruled for 15 years. The central government has enough money to coronavirus. I will make sure people get the funds they need. Don't think these saffron-wearing BJP workers are weak. Miss Singh rails at officials who are not visible in the video clip. I know how to lock people in a room and beat them with a belt. The minister continues. Dilip Gupta, resident of Balrampur district in Chhattisgarh, had shot a video of poor facilities at the center and uploaded it on social media. He alleged that the chief executive officer and tehsildar of the district panchayat has assaulted him for uploading the video. They allegedly pull his hair and snatch his video too. The minister visited the center and spoke to Dilip Gupta. Her outburst reportedly followed her tour. Dilip Gupta was quarantined at the center after his return from Delhi. On the video he had complained about the quality of food and other facilities at the center. An investigation agency in India said it had preliminary evidence that units of JP Morgan Chase and Company were involved in crime, gathering 187 crore, raising the stakes in a months-long money laundering probe. The Anti-Money Laundering Agency Enforcement Directorate informed the Supreme Court on Friday about the findings as part of an investigation into JP Morgan's alleged role in financing the Amrapali Group, once among India's largest real estate companies. Assets belonging to JP Morgan unit, including bank accounts, could be seized, according to the order posted on the court's website Friday, formalizing a ruling it first made in January. We are aware of the claims made against JP Morgan in court, and we intend to vigorously defend ourselves against them, JP Morgan's India spokesman Molika Senapati said in an email. She didn't immediately respond to an email seeking comment about the amount of alleged criminal proceeds, which the agency raised from an estimate of rupees 140 crore at the probe's outset last year. The Amrapali investigation emerged after a series of petitions by homebuyers frustrated over unfurnished housing projects. The court last year scrapped Amrapali's registration under real estate laws and directed government-owned NBCC India to complete all incomplete projects. The court will next hear the Amrapali case on May 27. Maruti Suzuki, the country's largest vehicle maker, has restarted production at its Gujarat plant as the country is amidst the fourth phase of the lockdown aimed at the curbing spread of COVID-19 and is restarting economic activity in a calibrated manner. Maruti Suzuki India Limited has been informed by Suzuki Motor Gujarat Private Limited that they would restart production of vehicles from 15th of May 2020, strictly in accordance with the government regulations and guidelines and by observing the company's own concern for the highest standards of safety, the company said in a filing to the stock exchanges. Suzuki Motor Gujarat Private Limited manufactures car for Maruti Suzuki on a contract basis. The reopening of the Gujarat plant follows the centre's decision to allow gradual resumption of the economic activity so as to balance lives and livelihoods. Earlier, Maruti Suzuki had restarted production operations at its Manesar plant on May 12 and Gurugram plant on May 18. Maharashtra Navnirman Sena Chief Raj Thackeray hit out at Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, saying labourers will have to seek nod of the Maharashtra government if they wish to work here. His remarks came a day after Adityanath said states will have to seek permission from his government if they want Uttar Pradesh migrant workers back. The Maharashtra government needs to take such things seriously. Any worker coming here to work should get duly registered with the government as well as local police. These workers should submit their documents and photographs as well, Thackeray said in a statement. Adityanath had on Sunday asked officials to set up a migration commission and later said at a webinar that other states would require permission to hire workers from Uttar Pradesh as some states had treated them badly. Besides working on skill mapping and employment of migrant workers, the commission will fix their wages and come up with social security schemes, including insurance for them. The Migrant Commission will work in the interest of the migrant workers. If any other states want UP's manpower, they cannot take them away just like that. Those states will have to do it with the consent and permission of the UP government. The way our migrant workers were ill-treated in those states, the UP government will take their insurance, social security in its hands now. The UP government will stand with them wherever they work, whether in UP, other states or other countries, Adityanath said at the webinar. Sharing a review meeting on COVID-19 and the lockdown earlier in the day, the Chief Minister asked the officers concerned to prepare a draft outline for the Migration Commission. The Chief Minister also said that his government had facilitated the safe and honorable return of 2.3 million migrant workers so far, and it would stay committed to bringing back all those who wanted to return. China on Monday threatened countermeasures against the United States if it was punished for plans to impose a sedition law on Hong Kong. That the business hub security chief hailed at as a new tool that would defeat terrorism. Beijing plans to pass a new security law for Hong Kong that bans treason, subversion and sedition after months of massive, often violent pro-democracy protests last year. But many Hong Kongers, business groups and Western nationals fear the proposal could be a death blow of the city's treasured freedoms, and thousands took to the streets on Sunday despite a ban on mass gatherings introduced to combat coronavirus. As police dispersed the crowds with tear gas and water cannon, Washington's National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien warned the new law could cost the city its preferential US trading status. But China's foreign ministry said Beijing would react to any sanctions from Washington. If the US insists on hurting China's interest, China will have to take every necessary measures to counter and oppose this. Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian told reporters on Monday. Hong Kong has become the latest flashpoint in soaring tensions between the world's two superpowers, which China has linked to brink of a new Cold War. The refusal to grant Hong Kongers democracy has sparked the repatriation support in otherwise bitterly divided Washington during the Trump administration. Beijing portrays city's protester as a foreign-backed plot to destabilize the motherland and say another nations have no right to interfere in how the international business hub is run. Protesters who have hit the streets in their millions say they are motivated by years of Beijing chipping away at the city's freedom since it was handed back to China by Britain in 1997. Hong Kong enjoys liberties unseen on the mainland as well as its own legal system and trade status. Campaigners view the security law proposal as the most brazen move yet to be Beijing and free speech and city's ability to make its own laws. Or of particular concern is provision allowing Chinese security agents to operate in Hong Kong, with fear it could spark a crackdown on those voicing dissent against China's communist rulers. On the mainland, subversion laws are routinely wielded against critics. The proposed law, which China's rubber stamp legislature is expected to act on quickly, will also bypass Hong Kong's own legislature. That's all for now. Keep watching K News. This is Hardik Trivedi taking your leave. Be alert, be positive, be safe.